Welcome to The Athlete's Record, where athletes share an honest and inspirational account of their sporting life, the things that matter most to them, and what they learned along the way. This podcast is brought to you in association with SPAR, proudly partnering with Israel Olatunde to launch the SPAR College Fund in support of third level students. Visit spar.ie to find out how students can win €10,000 in prize funds. When Israel Olatunde settled into the blocks to compete in the 100-metre final of the European Athletics Championships, he had already made history as the first Irishman to be in the final. Just over 10 seconds later, he'd made history again, becoming the fastest Irishman over 100 metres, clocking in at 10.17 and placing 6th in Europe. Here, he tells us where it all began, his early aspiration to be a professional footballer, and his childhood memories growing up in Dundalk in County Louth.
Well, yeah, the dream was to make it to Premier League one day. I think every kid dreams of that, being a professional football player. But from there, I just realized football probably wasn't my calling. But it wasn't for me. I kind of fell out of love with it. But I think everything happens for a reason, because it was from there that I picked up athletics and started getting into it. My role models were probably my siblings, to be honest. My sister, I have an older sister and older brother, Gabriel and Sharon, and I just looked up to them so much. I used to copy whatever they would do. My brother, he's 6 years older than me, so I kind of got a different perspective of life, just from hanging out with him. And my sister, she used to do athletics, so she's kind of the one that got me into it. I used to just follow her to her training. I used to pick her up with my mom, and from there I just saw them training, and it looked fun, so I gave it a try, and I guess the rest is history. Just from when I started, I had a really steady progression. So, but no matter what stage I'm at, there's always a next step to go. So I guess I haven't really came to that realization yet. But maybe one day, maybe when I'm at the Olympics, I'll be able to sit back and realize, yeah, I'm decent. Yeah, athletics can be a lonely sport, but you're never in it on your own. There's always people there to support you that have got you to, no matter what stage you are, there's those people there to push you on and support you. I remember my former coach, Jerry McCardle, he was a big part of my journey. He just took me in. He was my sister's coach. He took me in as well, and we just worked closely together for a few years. And with him, we achieved so much. But then at the time, he saw that it was time for me to move on to a new coach. So he helped me get set up with Daniel Kilgallen up in Dublin, and from there, we've done some great things over the last few years. And yeah, just so many people, my family, all my friends, everyone just really shows me so much love and support. That's really helped me, push on. I'm very self-motivated, but seeing people get joy from what I'm doing kind of pushes me on that extra step. Yeah, I think Dundalk was a pretty cool place to grow up. When I tell people I'm from Dundalk, they always kind of roll their eyes, but I love my town. I was pretty comfortable at home. I was pretty spoiled. I'm the youngest in my family, so I had no worries growing up. I had everything I kind of needed, really. I enjoyed secondary school as well. I went to St. Mary's College in Dundalk, and it was just a great place just to learn and to make new friends. So I had a really good environment growing up, and that's something I'm really grateful for. I know everyone doesn't have that, so it's definitely something that I cherish. In Dundalk, there was a pretty good mixture of cultures, I guess, when I was growing up. There was a lot of kids with Nigerian backgrounds and from all over Africa, from Eastern Europe and from Asia as well. So I think maybe growing up, there obviously was ignorance and racism and things like that, but I felt kind of sheltered from that, really, because you have your own kind of community, I guess, within the town. So, but even in school, there was certain incidents that would happen, but definitely it wasn't something that was frequent or that affected me as much as maybe others would have. So I'm pretty I guess blessed in that sense. Yeah, when my parents came to Ireland, obviously things were difficult for them. Coming to a new country and not knowing anyone, and people looking at you as if you're different. Obviously that's going to be tough, and they always tell us stories and of things that they went through, and it's tough to really hear about that they went through things like that, but it kind of gives me a sense of motivation, I guess, really, to know what they've been through and how hard they've worked to give me and my siblings a better future, a better life. They always tell me that I don't owe anyone anything, but I still feel in my heart that I owe to them, just to follow my dreams, really, because that's the reason why they've come to Ireland. to give us a chance to do what we really want to do and not be held back by anything. But now that I'm on this type of stage, I want to use that for a good cause. I know people are watching, so I want to be able to represent my family, my community, my country, proudly, and just show people what I can do, really. Yeah, I think you can't separate the craft from the person. I think whatever we do, whatever job that is, if it's sport or anything, it's just an extension of you. So be genuine, be yourself, and just put your all into it. So that's something I'm trying to bring into whatever I do, but specifically my sport. I want people to be able to look at me and think, if he can chase his dreams, I can chase mine as well. I can just find something I love and just put my effort into it and just see what can come from it, really. I don't really know what my goal is really in this sport. I'm just having fun with it. So that's all that really matters to me at the moment. After the European Championships, there definitely was a great influx of attention, and I guess my profile did kind of explode a little bit. But my coach, Dundalk, he keeps me grounded, and he always reminds me, everyone, even though all the attention is great, everyone is really supportive, but they're only seeing a moment in time. We've been on this journey for how many years, and we have how many years to go. So we have to remind ourselves that this isn't the end. We have to look at what's next, and not get too caught up with the attention and things like that, because we still have work to do. We still have our goals, and we still have a long journey to go, really, just in the sport. I don't want this to be the highlight of my career. There's certain things I want to achieve, and as I remember that, just be patient as well with it. People will have their expectations and their thoughts about what I can do in the future, but I think the people around me are the ones that I'm trying to listen to, and obviously I take everything on board, but especially people like my family, my coach, some of my friends, that they've been with me throughout this journey, so they kind of know what we've been through and where we're going. So, but yeah, I guess just reminding myself what I'm doing, who I am, and where I'm going, and not getting too caught up with other people's opinions. I think that's really important, especially in the moments like these where there is a big shift in attention. Athletes, we know that it's not just about the 10 seconds that you race. It's just the preparation you put in, the training, the months and months of work that you put in with your coaches and your training partners that come into play. So it's not just about the 10 seconds. That's when, I guess the 10 seconds, that's the easy part. You just have to go out there and do what you've done countless of times. I guess the hard part is just showing up day after day for training, eating right, being disciplined with your sleep and nutrition and everything. I think that's the real tough part, especially when you might not be seeing results. It's hard to find motivation because, I guess because it is such a short event, you kind of wonder, is it worth it? But I don't know, I guess we're all just adrenaline junkies, so we just keep going back to it. There's always a feeling that we're all kind of searching for in sprint, and that's just running fast, The Coliseum is a very special place. It's very eerie, I guess, especially at the bigger competitions. I remember at the European Championships and before the final, just looking around and seeing 7 other guys and thinking we all want the same thing, and it's kind of gets your blood pumping, just thinking about the possibilities that I want to beat this guy, he wants to beat me. We're all going to go at it and just see who comes out on top. So definitely is a lot of energy in the Coliseum, but it's kind of silent energy. No one is going around jumping around or talking too much, but everyone kind of knows what's up, and everyone is just getting into the zone, really. And I remember, my favorite moment from before the European Championships was just when they introduced us to the crowd. I remember we walked out into the stadium and I just look around and I see there's a packed arena and for maybe 50,000, 60,000 people there. They're all here to watch us race. And I was feeling a bit nervous, but as soon as they brought me out to the center stage and called my name, something just took over me, and all that nervous energy just turned into excitement, and just aggression, I guess, kind of. But that's a moment that I remember pretty clearly from the European. I think that was like my favorite moment of the championship, really.
New national record for Israel Olatunde, 10:17. He has surpassed Paul Hession's 10:18. So he's won a national record in a European final for 6th place. And that is some going.
And I think it's the right place for the record to go on an historic occasion for Irish sprinting. First Irishman in a major championship 100 metres final in the modern era. And for Israel Olatunde, a very respectable 6th place.
Great
the Irish flag is being draped around his shoulders. He's enjoying the moment, and obviously an Irish record just to rubber stamp it all.
That's great to see that sort of reaction from Israel Olatunde. We described him earlier on as a confident young man, and something like this is bound to just only increase that confidence.
I didn't realize that I'd broken the record when I first crossed the line. I was just looking. When I race, my mind just goes blank, so I don't really remember what happens during the race. Everything's just like pretty much on instinct. So I crossed the line. I saw a few people ahead of me. I was like, damn, maybe I didn't do too well. But I was just looking up at the big screen, just waiting for my result. I saw the first place come up, Marcel Jacobs. I saw second place, Sarnal Hughes. Third place, Jeremiah Azu. Fourth place, John Volko. I was like, damn. It's already down to 4th place and I haven't seen my name yet. 5th place, Mohammed Bifal, and he ran 10.17. So I was like, I must have missed the record. I must have run 10:30 or something. But then 6th place, Israel Olatunde, 10.17 as well. I guess you've probably already seen the videos, but just seeing that my name up there, 6th place and 10.17 national record, I was just overjoyed. The emotions just came out there in that moment. So that was a very special moment. I think before like a race, there would be a lot of tension going on. You know, you might not talk to, even if you're friends with certain athletes, you might not talk to them, but you know, after a race, you know, everything that kind of goes out the window. Everyone, or for the most part, will be pretty friendly and supportive. I remember the 3rd place finisher, Jeremiah Azu, in the 100 meters at the European Championships. I would have known him for the last few years just from racing against him. I remember he saw my reaction to my national record. He came over to me, gave me a hug, and we were just talking for a little bit. And that was a really special moment to share with him. And he's worked so hard to get that bronze medal. You know, when you think about records, it's amazing when you think about it. Like, I don't really like calling myself this, but I'm the fastest Irishman in history. But at the same time, there's always gonna be someone there's gonna be someone after me that's gonna take up the mantle and take over my place in this role, I guess. But I just want to push this as much as I can before I hand it off to someone else. But we're all just links in the chain, really. Paul Hession was the one before me, and now it's my time. But there will be someone after me, just passing on the legacy. It's important, that when we are in this position, we take advantage of it and try to inspire, the athletes coming up. Obviously, I don't want them to beat me, not yet, but I want them to be able to learn from me and, one day, go further than I've gone. But hopefully, that's not for another few years. Just seeing Paul Hession's reaction was really, special to me, and I kind of learned, from that. Just seeing, how gracious he was and how happy he was for me, and I know I'm going to be the same for the next Irish 100-meter record holder. Now, it's a great feeling, knowing that there are younger people, not just athletes that might look up to me, but it also does come with, I guess, a little bit of pressure and anxiety. You never want to lay a bad example or slip up and disappoint people that look up to you. But at the same time, I guess if I just be myself, and then that'll be enough for everyone, really. I think if you can see it, you can achieve it. I think it's important to give younger people something that they can actually see, and they can see a pathway to to get there, really. I sure remember Roger Bannister in the 4-minute mile. After he did it, how many other people did it so soon after? So hopefully, after this performance, that I've put in, other younger athletes can come through and put pressure on the sprinting scene in Europe, put pressure on the sprinting scene in the world, and just just make an impact, as Irish sprinters. I think we can do. We do have the talent, we do have the abilities, but I think hopefully people can realize that and just make that push. I guess I just want to find something that I enjoy and just put all my effort into it. And I feel like I find that with athletics and sprinting, but you never know what the future can hold. So I just want to put my all into something and be able to create something that I can look back on and be proud of what I've done. It sounds a bit cliche or cringe, but I see myself as an artist. Athletics is my craft, and I want to create something that's special and beautiful that I can look back on, or other people can look at and be inspired by, take motivation from, and just to put a smile on their face, really. We're all just creating things every day, whether you believe it or not. You're putting things out into the universe that other people are gonna relate to and react to. So I just want to be able to put out nothing but this is something beautiful, really, that people are able to see and take things from, really.
This episode was brought to you in association with SPAR, proud supporters of Irish athletics. SPAR is proud to partner with Israel Olatunde to support students this autumn. The SPAR College Fund is a TikTok competition that will see SPAR award 2 third-level students €5,000 each. To find out how to enter, visit spar.ie for more information. Competition closes on the 20th of October. Terms and conditions apply. This podcast is produced in partnership with Athletics Ireland and Irish Runner magazine. The Athlete's Record is produced by Record Media. Subscribe now for further episodes in our series.